Day two, and today has been inspired by one of the things I shared yesterday about how I assess whether or not I had a good day is if I notice something that is beautiful. And at the moment, I don't know if you also have that, but based on the way I feel, I go to the library and sometimes I pick a book and the title is like, yeah, that's something I probably should be reading about right now in my state of mind. And I recently picked this book that's called Joyrider. And I was like, what does that even mean, Joyrider? And I feel like, you know what, I need a little bit more happiness, a little bit more joy in my life. And I like the title. It's like joyriding feels like you are kind of gliding on the glimmers of something positive, something that feels easy and flowy. And I started reading this book and I was like, actually, that's what I've been doing for a while now, since January, since, as I was mentioning, noticing this beauty or these tiny moments or the colors or the birds or whatever it is. These are all glimmers, these are all like little moments of connection with nature or the universe or things like that. And that's actually part of creating joy, which I did not really know. I think I've always had like a weird relationship with happiness, joy. Like sometimes it's like, I'd like to be happy, but I don't really know why. And also, it's kind of like, it's a temporary feeling. So, what do I do with this? And yeah, it's always been hard to, not necessarily resonate with the word joy, basically. And as I'm reading this book, and I'm also listening from other people around joy, because I'm like, let me go on a joy ride. Like, what is actually joy? What does it really mean? And I've read the book from Brené Brown, Atlas of the Heart, where she talks about all the different emotions, and her definition of joy is that it's good mood for the soul. And I was like, yeah, that's what I want. That's what I would like to experience more. And she really talks about it as something more like temporary, more like, sudden, or something that just happens in a tiny moments of the day, rather than happiness, which is more like something longer term that depends a little bit on your circumstances or whatever is happening in your life. And I really like this definition of like, sense of freedom, sense of like, oh, in that specific moment, I feel really good and I feel some sense of connection with, spirituality, with the universe, with something. I was also reading from Glow Atomo that I mentioned yesterday already as one of my favorite influencer that use micro joy to handle macro grief, and that also made sense to me. It's like, yes, you need these tiny little moments where you can find joy in your day. That's what is going to help you be resilient. So navigate grief where there are a lot of more like negative or unsettling emotions around it. And if you can find the little glimmers and the little moments day by day and you build on that, then you're going to get out of the grief. So this is what I'm currently looking for. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I want to feel joy more than happiness. Maybe I want to feel more this every single day, be more present and having this moment that makes me feel, yeah, you know what? Today I felt joyful, and it's an internal thing. It's not sometimes maybe very hard to to share with somebody, because maybe it's very hard to explain, but you felt it, like it's something that really for you, internal, that moment you can encapsulate and keep preciously there. And yeah, I realized I was doing this in January actually, because I've started doing a few things, as I was mentioning yesterday, my what is the good day list, but also just for joy. I've started doing morning gratitude mantras. So whenever I wake up in the morning, I just close my eyes again, just woke up, close it again, and I'm just saying what am I grateful for, and just acknowledging things I can remember about my life that are actually true for me. And sometimes quite often it's actually, I am grateful to be in a bed and having had a good night's sleep. I am grateful I feel warm under the sheets right now, and I can just like, pause for a second and listen to the silence of London, which is not always the case during the day. But just having this kind of moments of gratitude in the morning, or like, something that actually I like about my current life. I think it really like brings joy, in the sense that I can also see that there are things that are actually, I would not change for anything. So this is a practice I've started as well. I also started doing what I call my get to do list. And so every single day I have in my journal, I record like, what did I get to do today? So every single good moment that happened, every single thing, I think like, hey, you know what? I had the chance to do that. I had a chance to be alive and make this happen. And it's random things. Like, let me just take one random page from my journal and tell you what I wrote in there. And so Friday, 27th of February 2026, I got to visualize a very beautiful pink blue sky while I was going to the gym. I was walking on the street outside, and my God, the sky, I could have painted that. And that's a tiny thing. Same thing, Saturday 28th, what did we have? Ooh, Saturday 28th of February, I learned that scrubs that is one of my favorite series of all time, is coming back. That was the best news ever, and I got to live it, and I got to watch the series as well when it came out again. So this is like tiny moments. These are like meaningless in the big picture of things, meaningless things, but I capture them. And every single week when I do my weekly review, I also tap them in a list so that I can have a proof of it and I can keep it with me. And every single month when I do my monthly review, I'm like, let me read all the things I got to do this month. And I think having seen this, like I record like 5 to 10 things every single day, and it's like it's tiny things, but if you look at the accumulation, like when I read back, I'm like, damn, I had a few things that actually really made me joyful, really were moments that I actually felt alive and I felt, this connection to whatever it was. And yeah, I found it's a very, 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 very simple process. Doesn't cost you a lot of time, but actually for me, it makes a big difference in how I'm experiencing joy. And the other thing I've done based on that, because I was like, there's so many cool stuff I'm experiencing. Like I need to be proactive about it. Like let me look at all the things that happen, and are there things that I can actually make happen more often? Because then it's like, oh, now I can create joy in my life. Now I can bring this moment and not engineer them, but make sure that they happen more frequently, or that every single day I can feel a little bit of joy as a kind of like, conditioning, like, because I think it's a good emotion, a good energy I want to bring as well. So I have now a joy list. It's very it's tiny, but it's growing. So every single thing where I feel like, oh, I was in flow, or there I was like completely relaxed and very happy to be alive, I just put it there. And it can be like stuff like, for instance, animal spotting. I have currently a passion for squirrels because I live in London. And every time I go to a park, there are squirrels. And I talk to squirrels. I'm gonna say it on YouTube. Like, I'm not crazy, but I like talking to them. I talk to them in French, and they listen to me. I swear to you, they listen to me, and we are making eye contact, and there is a connection, and I have very cute videos with them. This is something that brings me joy. I can make it happen because I know where to go in a park. I can, even if I want to even engineer it further, I can bring nuts with me or something to feed them. So these are tiny moments I can create. There are also like things like how I have like I'd say like a deep passion for dancing like a random crazy person in a complete random way, alone in my bedroom. That is also something that brings me a lot of joy. And I think it's because it helps me move my body, so it also brings some good some good movements, some good things to the brain, and to like trigger a lot of like good processes in there. But it's also the songs sometimes are really, really good, or they make me laugh, or they are like, a bit like playful. So I have, for instance, I'm very fond of Blaster Jacks as a DJ. It's very high vibe. There's like songs where they are making fun of DJs. There are songs of different types of music that they remix. And some of these songs are really like, you can do a Macarena, you can do like some random chicken dance move, whatever you can. But putting that, like blasting that in my ears for like 15 minutes, this is such a joyful moment in my day, and this is something that I can easily accept that, and I can bring it to my life intentionally and say, yes, you know what, I need joy. That's my list. Let me pick something on my list, and let's do something at least for once a day. And just like things like watching colors. If there is a beautiful color while I'm painting, I'm like, that makes me so happy. It's just like simple stuff like this. So these are the things that I'm currently doing for joy. And one thing I realized as well is that it's really a practice. It's not like you can experience some of these things, but if you really want to leverage it, and this is what I want to do for my 40s, I want to be able to have this joyful energy deep in me, like just for me. Not obviously it's gonna help other people as well, because if I'm showing up more joyful, or with more like just the presence that also is linked to joy, it can be amazing. For other people to be around me, it's like, oh, somebody who knows how to enjoy the simple pleasures in life, and be make the best out of things. And so that's for people, but it's also for me. And I feel it's as really like thinking about it as something I need to be proactive about, I need to condition, is something very, very helpful. And I feel it's helping me for the grief processing that I was mentioning I'm going through at the moment, because it helps like see some positive aspects, or it helps rewiring the brain as well towards momentum, or towards like positive things happening that makes life worth living in general. It also kind of like, I feel sometimes it's hard to allow yourself to feel positive emotions when you are really in like deep processing of things where you feel you should only feel the negative stuff, or you feel the positive things but directly you go back into negative. So it feels like, you know, these things are temporary, and it's kind of like it's not necessarily good to feel them as well. So I think I had like some kind of mindset around, am I allowed to feel joyful right now? I'm kind of figuring things out and don't really know where I'm going. There are like things that I cannot control, or things that are really uncertain. And I think I gave myself more permission to feel it and say, you know what, yes, I need to feel these things every single day, no matter what happens. This is for me. And I think it's also helping me feel more in control because I can create these things. And you know, when you decide to, if I decide to go watch a squirrel or dance, that's me. That's me deciding it. I have the freedom for that. So that means that's one thing that is under my control, even if everything else is not currently going. So yeah, it's really like a kind of virtuous circle that also helps you process, and that makes also life worth living. And I think this is one of my mindset for my 40s, is to be as joyful as possible, to bring some good mood to my soul, and yeah, to just experience it. I think that's basically it. So I wish myself more squirrel and encounter, more beautiful skies, whatever is on my list that I can keep adding to it. And yeah, if you have yourself like some joy practices and you've been able to really embody that in your life, I would really like you to share in the comments, because I'm always looking for, ooh, what is the simplest stuff I could do? Like sometimes, you know, it's just like a toast and you put some butter on it and you watch the butter go through the holes of it. I don't know, like it's a cozy blanket, or it's anything that brings you joy. I would really love you to share as well, so that I can put some on my list as well. And I see you tomorrow for day 3 of videos on YouTube.